Wander is a 2020 film that was written by Tim Dorian and directed by April Mullen. Now, April Mullen has been on my radar ever since I watched her film called Dead Before Dawn, which, in my personal opinion, is a straight 5 out of 5 simply for guilty pleasure purely. Ever since I fell in love with that hilarious zombie comedy horror, I've just been pretty much watching all of her other stuff that she's directed. And this is one of them. She also has a film called 88 that I own with, forget the actress's name right now, but she is the girl from Ginger Snaps. She also very recently released a film with starring Simu Liu. And she's a really big independent director, constantly releasing new projects, and this is one of them. So I very recently bought this. And for me right now, it probably needs another watch, to be 100% honest. As of where it sits right now, it's probably my least favorite of her films that I have seen so far. That being said, I think this film has a wicked idea, and the trailer sold me instantly. It's kind of like an action drama thriller mystery kind of thing. It deals with a lot of conspiracy. The two main leads are great. You got Aaron Eckhart playing a character that Aaron Eckhart usually doesn't play, like very aggressive, very paranoid kind of guy. You don't see a performance like this too much from him. And then you got Tommy Lee Jones, blanked there for a second, who's legend, obviously. He also plays a kind of conspiracy theorist podcast dude that, you know, broadcasts a show from a trailer kind of deal. And what we have going on is there's a murder at the beginning of the film. This woman named Zoe. Zoe's mother, Elena, is getting a little bit suspicious with the death because Zoe's body at the morgue basically has a bullet wound pretty much in the middle of her chest, or something that either impacted or, you know, some kind of wound there, and it doesn't match the police reports. So Elaine is starting to get suspicious of the police being involved with you know, the murder or whatnot. This all takes place in southern United States around New Mexico area. There's a lot of involvement with like native tribes and native villages in this film as well. It's I think April or Tim Dorian, who wrote it, definitely made this film a tribute to border control and a lot of like corruption that goes on in that part of the world and part of the United States. But anyways, yeah, Elaine is suspicious of this death of her daughter, and she seeks the help of these two, who, like I said, they do a show on like conspiracy theories and podcasts. They're really, really intense. Especially Aaron Eckhart's character is just a nutball when it comes to his theories and paranoia. Like, this guy is like jittery and really, really aggravated character kind of thing. He has a lawyer and friend played by Heather Graham. So Heather Graham shows up in this, which is nice. And he used to be a detective or a private investigator before he got into the conspiracy stuff. And he takes it upon himself to make a private investigation on this death of this girl, Zoe. And it basically leads him to a web of, like, the craziest shit going on. And, I mean, this film is even paced in a really strange way, and it goes back and forth like crazy. It's filmed in such a style where it kind of represents what's going on in Aaron Eckhart's character's head, and how, you know, he's always like making up questions and piecing shit together, and his whole like paranoia and everything is giving him a struggle on comprehending reality kind of thing. And I think the film is shot and produced in a way that makes the audience feel that way. Or I just didn't get it, one or the other. But there's parts in this film that are so confusing. I mean, there's like 30 seconds of literally just, you know, settings jumping back and forth, where he's in a motel and then he's in the hospital and he's waking up on a bed and then the hospital's empty and then he's on the floor with a gun, and it's just like, whoa, okay, slow down with these frames, all right? I'm trying to catch up here. And yeah, like I said, it just, the story leads to you know, him investigating this and landing into these massive, like, conspiracy things going on. Even like he stops trusting everybody, his lawyer, Tommy Lee Jones's character included, the cops. He starts to think that Elaine is actually in on a bigger thing, kind of thing. And it's nuts. Like the ending of this film too is crazy. There's a plot line involving like microchips that are implanted into people's bodies, and again, the film asks the question: is this in his head or is it a reality? And the ending of the film kind of answers that question. But it's pretty like kind of brutal, slightly body horror thing that goes on at the end of the movie where he's in a mental ward and he does something to himself. So to keep that as spoiler free as I can. But I think the biggest thing with this film, it needs a rewatch. So like bear with me. I only watched this film once and never seen it before. Like it's a first time watch for me. I think it bit way more than it can chew. I think that's the biggest thing with this film, is that it just has so much going on that it probably would make a phenomenal miniseries, but I think an hour and a half is just a little too short. And it throws so much at you. Like it goes from 0 to 100, and the themes of the film just go insane. There's this small town called Wander, and this is where these two ladies are from. And this small town has like the sketchiest people living in it. There's a population of like 50. And, everything is just so strange involving this town. And it seems like a small place that's linked and connected to something so much bigger. And it is, from what Aaron Eckhart's character discovers. Arthur is his name. And it just gets to really crazy ass ideas and really crazy ass situations that are unexpected for a movie like this. Like you expect it to be more of a grounded kind of indie feature, and it's indie, but it just like skyrockets with the kind of unbelievability and all the scenarios that go on with it. There's great music in this film. Like I said, the theme of this film has a lot to do with native tribes in New Mexico area. And there's a lot of music involving like world music, kind of tribal music vocally, and it's beautiful. It's magnificent. They play a lot of native tribal songs, kind of experimental style, which I really, really liked. And when it comes to performances by everybody, but mainly the two leads, obviously, because they're on screen the most, I'd say Aaron Eckhart actually gives the best performance in this movie. And a lot of that is because I don't, like I said, usually see Aaron Eckhart act this way. He's so good, and he like falls into his role so heavy that I almost didn't even recognize him. It would take me a while to recognize him if if his name didn't come up in the credits. I probably would be looking at this guy saying, "Is that Aaron Eckhart?" He's that good. So, but yeah, I think this is just a little too dense and a little too confusing to merit like all the mystery behind it, kind of thing. I think they just had too much to deal with and too little runtime, and I don't know, like I think this film would be better one way or the other. Either keep it grounded or like go extreme, but write it out or stretch it out a little more, something like that. It was a good shot. Obviously, April Mullen had a lot of passion behind this project. That's clear. It's well done. It's a super marvelously produced film. But I definitely need to wrap my brain around it a lot more. And for a first time watch, it's kind of hard for me to grasp everything that was in it. But like I said, I think it's just way too rushed. It's way too rushed of a project, and it doesn't answer every question it asks and it raises. Like, it just doesn't. There's so much that doesn't feel complete with this film, and it's unfortunate because I can see the massive potential kind of behind it, but as of now, I do have to say that the other projects that I've seen by Mullen definitely surpass this one. So I will be keeping it, obviously, though, and I will be watching it again, so maybe my mind will change. As of now, that's Wander from 2020, directed by April Mullen, written by Tim Dorian, and starring Aaron Eckhart, and Tommy Lee Jones, as well as Heather Graham. Always awesome seeing Heather Graham show up in pretty much anything. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I will be back soon with more. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.